Well, hello and welcome back to our podcast series on celebrating International Face Equality Week. Today I am joined by probably two of my favorite guests. I'm here with Michael and Jackie, my parents, and we're here to talk today about raising a child with a facial difference in celebration of Face Equality Week. Guys, thanks for coming and being here.
Thanks for
Well,
having
thanks
us.
for asking us,
You
honey.
don't really have a choice. And so I want to sort of center our conversation around how did you raise a child with a facial difference? How did you prepare them for the world? And sort of center around the empowerment of your child. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wonderful. So I want to first ask you, how did you sort of tackle raising a child with confidence?
I have a couple examples.
Yeah.
I can remember one time. First of all, we were older parents. We were 40 when we had you, and so we were, and we didn't know until you came out that you had a facial difference, and we just didn't. We just wanted to raise happy, unspoiled children. And 100 years ago, or so, or whatever, people with a facial difference or any kind of different, they kept them in the closet, And that was, we were going to do the opposite of that. And we did the opposite of that. We made sure that she was out every time we went out. But, it was tough, the stairs, the triple takes, one look is normal, two looks is normal for a facial difference. But the third look and the stairs are what kind of hurt me, I'm sure they weren't fun for you either. I can remember when you were little, we went to my hometown church in Walton, New York, and we walked in. Everybody was curious and looking because everybody had heard about it, and I just grabbed you and I lifted you up.
Like the Lion King.
Like the Lion King.
So.
And a round of applause. It wasn't a standing ovation, but it was a round of applause.
We were talking earlier today, maybe yesterday, about raising twins and having one with a facial difference and one without. How did that play into? I mean, really, you were teaching us space equality before we had the word space equality. Tell me a little bit about raising both of us.
Well, again, we were blessed that I got to stay home with you for the first 4-5 years. And that was very beneficial because I never looked at you as being different than Maddie. I never looked at what you were doing or what she was doing or comparing the two of you. It was always, come on, this is what we're going to do. And we did it together, no matter what it was. But I remember in kindergarten, it was your first experience, an all day school. And there were a few stairs and there was a few, kind of staying away from you. And I asked the teacher if I could bring in the photo album and just talk to a couple people.
Educate people.
Yeah. Just one-on-one. I sat at a little table over at the thing and they came and they sat down and looked at the pictures with me. And I explained, this is the way Liz was born. And she may not look like Maddie. Guess what? Maddie doesn't look like me.
And it's interesting, Maddie and I have spoken to a lot of kids, and we've realized that when you teach them about differences early in their life, it just clicks.
They don't see it.
And they're so accepting.
Yeah, they don't even see that there's a difference.
Exactly. It's so, once you explain it to them, because they can see that something is out of the ordinary. But once you, talk to them on their level, they get it. Yeah. They're good. So this year for Face Equality Week, our theme is seen and served, and so it's like you mentioned, focused on the hospitality industry. In recent years, there's been too many stories of people with facial differences not being treated fairly in the restaurant scene and things like that. And I know we've dealt with sort of a micro level of that with maybe some staring and things like that. But you both, I remember, when we would go out to dinner or whatever, you'd make us order for ourselves and you'd make us speak to the waiters or whatever. Tell me a little bit about, because I hated that you always forced us to do that. But now I love it now because I feel so comfortable going out to eat. Tell me a little bit about sort of those principles that you instilled.
Well, you know what? Again, I think we were in the right area, of the right demographic, I guess, maybe, because remember I remember one specific spot where you wanted to order spaghetti. And the poor waitress, she couldn't hear you because it was loud.
Yeah.
And she got right down close to you and you said, spaghetti. It's always got to be a mental process when you're a parent of, okay, what happened? Maybe I didn't pick up on that the first time, but what happened and how can I fix that the second time so it doesn't happen again?
Yeah. And I want to come back to what you were talking about too, Dad. Sort of the term of like helicopter parents. And I feel like both of you had a wonderful balance of, if we needed help, you helped us. But like that situation with the waitress, sometimes you do have to take that step back and just see how things go. Dad, tell me a little bit about that balance of protecting your child and also letting them grow and learn.
Well, we tried not to get upset, number one. We tried not to, like I said, hide you, keep you from people. We took you out. We probably even took you out more, just to get it out there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
it's like we as a family have done such a good job. Not to toot our own horns here, but I think we did a pretty good job of balancing the truth of the situation of I do look different. And my experiences and my life is different. But we don't have to dwell on it. We don't have to.
You're an individual.
Yeah.
Your life should be different.
Yes. Your
life is different in a different path.
Yes.
But.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And I think having a twin has a lot to do with that too.
Oh, we're just that was just one more blessing, among hundreds of blessings that we had throughout the 30 surgeries that you had. We spent a lot. We've got a lot of hospital time. Waiting rooms.
We got a lot of waiting room experience.
God bless you.
And we learned how to handle that too. That was an adjustment a little bit, but to see people that are that didn't and they you can't freak out about it. You just gotta it's just it's beyond your control. Serenity prayer. So yeah.
But I think it's common for especially parents who have young children to get tied up in this. Oh my God, I've got to fix this. And why doesn't that child like my child? And but when you stop and think about it, okay, are you going to be best friends 30 years from now? Probably not. So let's not try and fix that. Let's just try and educate and socialize a little bit and move on. But I think there's a lot of people in the world that need to be educated. They need to just and some of them are just, they might be young kids right now, but their parents don't know how to broach the subject either.
Right. Yeah.
So
kids, I can understand when parents give the triple. We have a little code, the first look, second look. Everybody's second look. Oh, she's different. Okay. Then the third look and a stare. That's to me is unacceptable.
That's when we're staring back.
That's when the death ray comes out. And it's like, that's it.
I love that. You guys, thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to rope you into doing this again because I had so much fun.
It was fun.
Cool.
It's always fun. Much. Yes. You got a great story, baby.
Yeah.